Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today in War Thunder it's time to have a look at a new Devblog, and it's for the AMX-50 Surblindé, I believe is how you say it. But I'm just going to call it the AMX-50 so I don't offend too many French people. Now this video is going to be split up into two parts. The first part, and it'll all be one video, but the first part will be looking at the AMX-50, my general opinions on it, and the second part will be about why is it a main prize for the upcoming World War season, the positives and negatives, and also my own personal opinion. So, let's get into what this vehicle is. The AMX-50 Surblindé would probably be seen as one of the last heavy tanks that ever fully existed. By the time that it was existing, the idea of a heavy tank on the battlefield and a medium tank and all of these different variants of these specific vehicles was kind of being phased out. The Soviets were one of the last nations which made heavy tanks, and the French also tried to follow suit, but by this point the MBT idea from the British, from the Americans, and even after, the T-10M and the subsequent prototypes that came out of it, eventually the Soviets also changed to this MBT idea. Well, the French liked the heavy tank idea, they liked the autoloader idea, they liked the large gun idea, and they also liked the speed idea. So projects such as the AMX-50 kept going, even though they were very much delayed by an incredibly long time. So by the time that this machine was created, and it was created in a single prototype form, it was way out of date, and therefore would have been pretty useless on the battlefield, just because of how large it was, and also just because of the fact that even though they had created this great armor which was designed to combat AP shells, heat was becoming a very prevalent set of ammunition at the time period it would have been produced. So, let's talk about this machine in terms of what we already have in game. The Surblindé, which is an 8.0 French heavy autoloading tank, is the brother to the Surblindé. So they made the AMX-50, then they made this, and then they made the Surblindé. The Surblindé is a slightly lighter, lower machine than this one, and it has less armor on it. It has a lower reload than it. It has a higher rate of fire, and also it should be a little bit quicker, but that is to be determined. If you want to see a full history and full interest that I had in this machine, I did a video called the AMX-50 Surblindé in game, which I actually was able to drive it around the test track. I'll leave a link to it in the description. But the main factors to this vehicle that change it from the Surblindé is the fact that it has an MG15 120mm on the top. It also has this disgusting optics on the top right here, and it also has the pike nose that you can see. It also has a slightly different gun, fires very similar shells with penetration of up to 300mm, and as I said, the autoloading system has 18 rounds in it, and the general reload rate is 5 to 6 shots a minute, so around about 10 to 12 seconds. So it's a little bit longer than the Surblindé. So yeah, those are the main differences. When it comes to its armor, the pike nose will obviously be kind of useful against certain shells. What I found during testing is that it has a effective thickness of around about 200mm. So at 8.0, you're still going to be able to go through it pretty easily. You're going to be able to chew it up no problem. But even though it has extra weight, even though it has a higher silhouette, it also has the German Maybach engine in it with a decent amount of power, meaning that this machine can run around at a speed of 51 kilometers an hour. When I was testing this, I didn't see too much of a difference between the maneuverability of this and the Surblindé in the tech tree. So for me, the two main differences between them are the additional armor on this and the 20mm on top. So I do see this as a better machine, but it can be argued that the Surblindé is better because of its lower silhouette and because of the fact it has a faster reload. The fact that it's at 8.0 though does mean that I still think it will struggle in the areas where the Surblindé struggles, which is pretty much gun stabilization, because at that point, you know, you're running into a lot of auto-loaders, and also the fact that you are massive, meaning that it's going to be very easy to see you. Other things as well is the fact that it does have some nice camouflages on it too, but if you want, as I said, an extended history and thoughts, just go watch this video. Now, why is this vehicle important? The reason why this vehicle is important is because it was added to the files, the live files, maybe a week or two ago, and a lot of people speculated, and in the files it was listed as a gift vehicle, a non-premium gift vehicle, meaning that when you get it, it has its modifications not unlocked, so you have to grind them out, and also it had a very similar repair cost to the Surblindé, showing that it would be a gift vehicle and not a premium gift. So a lot of people started theory crafting what this thing would be used for. What event would it be for? A lot of people said the Operation Summer event of this year. But now we find out it is for the World War season Recon Under Fire. Now, the first World War season is upon us. It's starting in 16 hours from this video being created, and it's called Recon Under Fire. And they've made this wiki page outlining when the different scenarios are going to be, when you will be able to participate with your squadron or as an individual, and also what this page does is talk about the awards for the event itself. So we're going to go through the awards, and then I'm going to give my opinion on it. The first thing is, for the first battle of the day, you can get a bunch of different little boosters or random talismans, which is very nice. If you win 3 battles in one day, you can also get some more, boosters and stuff like that. And on the final day, so basically the way that this is working, if you've ever been in squadron battles or if you've ever been in tournaments, they're trying to do a seasonal idea. So you pretty much have a month's worth of battles, and you can see when the events are going to be. And after this month load of battles, you'll have an end of season day, and you will be given the awards depending on where you finish in the leaderboards of this event. Right, so that's how it's going to work. And these are the prizes that they're going to give you for the final day. So the first 50 people for each nation, so, you know, the first 50 people who've done the best of each nation, they get a World War Trophy vehicle. The 51 to 150, they get a World War Trophy decoration. And 151 to 400, they get a coupon for the decal of the played scenario. Okay. And then for all players, for the season result... Oh, wait a sec. So you have the final day, and then you have... So this is just for the final day. So this is just how well people do on that last day. So you can actually get some pretty cool rewards on the last day, which is nice. But then you have the overall rewards. So these are the rewards for all of the season. So the collective leaderboards. The top 500 people on the leaderboard, so basically the top 500 players, get the AMX-50 Surblindé coupon. So that is where this comes in. Then you have 501 to 2000. They get the Spitfire F Mark 9C. Now, if you don't know what this is the Spitfire that it's not that one. That is the Spitfire that they gave away in a tournament a while back. You basically had to win. I'll just play this from Jengar. If you don't know who Jengar is, he's one of the best pilots out there, one of the most amazing pilots, and you should follow his channel. And you can see that the Spitfire F Mark 9C is just an F Mark 9, but with 4 Hispanos. That's the difference between it. It was a quite fun tournament actually to play. I disagreed with the fact that it was a tournament vehicle, but you can get it here again. For 2001 to 4000, once again, World War Trophy vehicle. 4001 to 7500, World War II Trophy decoration. Then, if your squadron is placed 1 to 25 in the leaderboard, the top 20 players of said squadron get the AMX-50. The 21 to 40 get the Spitfire. The 41 to 80 get the World War Trophy vehicle. Then 81 to 128 get the decoration, and then if you are 26 to 50 in squadrons, the top 40 members get the vehicle, the 41 to 128 get the decoration, and the 51 to 70 squadrons, 128 of you get the decoration. So you can see that there are individual rewards, there are also squadron rewards with individual stuff as well. What is a World War Trophy vehicle? So a World War Trophy vehicle, it is a coupon for one of the following vehicles. Either the Hawk H75A2, that is a vehicle I've just recently done a video on. It is a Finnish H75A2, which is in the German tree as a premium. Then you've got the I-29, which is a prototype Yak 2/Yak 4, which was given away a while back. Then you have the M8 USA, and then you have, of course, the Cruiser Tank Grant 1 for the British. Now, see what it says here. It can be traded on the market and contains one coupon for one of the following vehicles. So this is a RNG thing. There is a random, it is random which vehicle you get if you open that trophy. So just to put that down there. Then, the decoration trophy has in it, it's the same ideas, it's a random trophy. When you open it, you get one of the following. The PPD mod, 1934-38, Beretta Model 38, the Rising M50, Type 99 Sniper, the Owen Machine Gun Carbine, or the Mauser M98K. So once again, you do not get to choose what you get. It is a random prize out of these things, and it's just annoying. And you don't even, the way it's written here is, well, actually, no, you do get a coupon, so if you get the thing that you don't want, at least you can sell it on the market. So, let's talk about the issues with having the AMX-50 Surblindé as the vehicle to work towards when it comes to the World War mode. Overall, I think the events and stuff work, it all looks pretty cool, it all looks pretty nifty. I don't like the idea of a secret scenario that we're not told about. I, as a person who is interested in working out what to do, not being told about something until the day before is incredibly infuriating. E.g., being told about all of this about 20 hours before the event starts. Not a good idea, right? So that's already the first issue. This was the same issue that the YouTuber Cup had, where it felt like everything was organized at the last minute. People did not understand what was going on. People did not understand what vehicles that were supposed to be there. People did not understand the full context of the rules or anything like that. And now we're doing the same thing with this damn thing. We're only being told a day before that you have to prepare for all of these things. On a damn Monday. A Monday, for God's sake. Anyway. So, let's talk about, all of this stuff looks good, getting people to play battles in general and giving them little prizes, obviously means that they'll play more. Now, the first issue, we're not even going to talk about the Surblindé. The first issue that I can already see is you have an individual thing. So you have the top 500 players in the leaderboard, they get the AMX-50. And then the top 20 players of the top 25 squadrons get the AMX-50. So this is technically 1,000 AMX-50 coupons that are going to be given out. But what if you, as an individual, are in the top 500 players and also in the top 20 of the top 25 squadrons? Do you get 2 coupons? And let me just tell you, there is going to be a lot of crossover with the top 500 players and the top 20 in the top 25 worth of squadrons. So do you give those individuals 2 AMX-50 coupons? So instead of, you are already limiting it, instead of 1,000, which you would originally think, it could be as low as 500. So already, we are going to be driving up the price of this machine on the market. Now, on top of this as well, what if I am a player and I get 21st in my squadron and I get the Spitfire F, but I wanted the AMX-50? I would feel hard done by my squadron members. And this is a problem that has existed a long time in a lot of games. You want to create a cooperative, competitive environment, but you also want to limit the prizes that are involved in that environment. So what you have to do is you have to pit squadron members against each other as individuals in order to be able to fight for the best prizes, right? So if I am in a squadron, if I'm in a top 25 squadron, and I know that, we're going to be up there, and I'm fighting for these top 20 places, why am I in a cooperative scenario also fighting to be better than my teammates? The whole point of World War Mode is supposed to be a cooperative environment in a PvP setting. So you have two very well drilled sides fighting against each other. So you know what's going to happen, especially because all of this is going to be based on rating systems, which we will not be privy to. People are going to work out the best way to get the best rating, and everybody is just going to grind that way. So if you are a squadron commander and you want specific people to get those 20 top places and screw everybody else, you just make them do the things that is going to get them the best rating. And then you have the issue of, as I said, the fact that you are pitting squadron members of the same squadron against each other while also telling them to cooperate and work together. This is insanity. This is literally setting up squadrons to backstab each other. Because if you want to be in that top 20, and you know that there are a bunch of players ahead of you, what you might do is sabotage some of those players. What if, as I said, favoritism is also involved? There is a ton of factors in here which is just going to annihilate squadrons after the first month. Because people are going to have favorites, and guess what? The people who are stuck in 21 to 128 who are playing B team, or put it another way, bitch boy, when it comes to these squadrons, they're gonna just become resentful. And that's going to annihilate the better squadrons. We already see this in squadron battles, where people don't feel valued, where people feel like they are the grunt, or they are the grunt of the litter, or they feel like they're not given the opportunities that others have, even though they're better players. And now you're setting up a system which literally rewards people for screwing over others in the same squadrons. What are you doing? Just think about that. Think about that situation. Now, on top of this as well, the idea of having an exclusive vehicle as a top tier prize for an event, I can understand that if you want to promote the event. Do I agree with it? No. I think it's an absolutely terrible idea just because, just as well as I said with the tournament scene, I do not think the squadron battle scene or the tournament scene deserve anything when it comes to unique event vehicles. The reason for this is because I see no growth from it. I do not see the value of tournament players in War Thunder. None of them have ever created any content. None of them have advertised the game. None of them have done interviews. None of them even want to. They just want to compete and get free stuff. If you are looking for an opportunity at Gaijin, what you are trying to do, think about the content creator program. The whole point of it is if we help you out here, you can help advertise this game, therefore we get more players. That is the whole relationship here between Gaijin and the content creators, right? We give you stuff. Hopefully you can use that stuff to advertise what we're doing in the game, bring in more players. The tournament scene and the squadron battle scene do not do this. They have not done it. They have never done it. The closest we have ever got to anything like that is Thunder League. And that still hardly did anything when it came to bringing in new players. Otherwise, guess what? They would have done it again. Because if it was this great success, if it was this wonderful thing that had really shown the competitive side of War Thunder to be the epitome of what everybody wants to see, they would have run a second one. Because the amount of money got from it through the ingrowing of a population through War Thunder would have made it worth it. But that is not what we saw. Instead, what we saw was complete denial of a Thunder League Season 2, and now a new tournament system which is bare bones compared to what the Thunder League offered, because of the fact that it is not worth pouring money into. The only thing that the tournament scene is good for is to satisfy those top tier players and to give them their GE prizes. But once you put unique vehicles in to either those tournaments or in squadron battles, which remember, World War Mode eventually is supposed to replace squadron battles. That was the whole point of setting this damn thing up in the first place. I am going to have to put my name in the ring and say, no, don't bloody do this. If you have an individual who is asking for you for everything, but is not willing to do anything to justify what they are asking, do you give in to that individual? No, you don't. You put your foot down and you say, do it yourself. And if you want some help along the way, I'm here. But I need to see you take the first steps. I need to see you get up the stairway. I need to see you roll down the cliff. I need to see something, optimism, confidence, something from you. The scenes or the areas which this idea is supposed to be for do not deserve this, and have never deserved this, because they do not create anything. And that is the problem with this whole idea of exclusivity. It isn't the fact that only a specific few amount of players can get it. It is the fact that they are undeserving in order to get this. Now let's talk about the AMX-50 and why it makes absolutely no sense to be a World War unique vehicle. And then we'll talk about what would be so much better. The AMX-50 Surblindé, or whatever you call it, is a post-World War II prototype design. Please, can somebody tell me what any of these have anything to do with World War II? The whole point of the AMX-50 design was it was supposed to be a post-war new evolution of French tank design. It was supposed to be the new step, autoloaders, lower silhouettes on the turret, fast, away from all of the crazy heavy armor. Different ideas thrown in, different ways of playing combat. Nothing that the AMX-50 represents has anything to do with World War II. It has nothing to do with it. But you have specifically set up a historical World War II, World War mode, which takes historical scenarios and gives the ability for commanders to command their squadrons in order to, win the battles and play through them. So you've set up this completely historical scenario where you have to use historical vehicles in it, and the gift vehicle you give people is a post-war prototype, which has nothing to do with anything when it comes to this. Do you see the issue here? The Spitfire F Mark 9. Okay. It's a World War II vehicle. It was built. I can get it. The World War trophy vehicles, I understand. They're all, World War II. The H-75, massive significance. Not in the way that it's a Finnish vehicle in the German tech tree. I think that's kind of balmy. But, from the standpoint of the H-75, very prominent part of World War II. I-29, it's a Soviet prototype. you know, it is World War II at least, and it did move on to better things in the form of the Axe. The M8, iconic for the Americans. The Grant, used a hell of a lot by the British. Okay, I get all of them. I get the decorations. I get all of it. The AMX-50 makes no sense. Zero. You had so many different options to reward players. You could have done historical camouflages. You could have paid skin creators to make you historical camouflages for specific vehicles. If you wanted to make a good middle ground so you don't give exclusive vehicles to this system, what you do instead is you take pre-existing tech tree vehicles and you give them historical skins and give them premium. A great example of this is the 75 Jumbo and the Cobra King. The Cobra King has history behind it from World War II. It is also a premium. It is also around the rank that you are going to be playing in these World War mode stuff. Why not create more of them? Where is my iconic T-34-85 premium? Why not create one with a specific skin, tell a specific story about it, and use it to be able to teach people about history and also about the tactics which it was used in? There are millions of Soviet, German, British, American soldiers who have amazing stories in World War II. And they are coupled with the vehicles that they used. But instead, you decide a 1950s French prototype. Does nobody see an issue with this? And then on top of this as well, the trophies. I dislike the fact that I am working towards a prize which I do not get to choose. This event is a month long. It's basically 1 day on, 2 days off, right? That's pretty much how this is working, okay? So, I can work all of that month. I can get a World War Trophy box, and if I open it, I get 1 out of the 4 vehicles. I don't know if there's going to be rarity attached to them. I don't know if some are going to drop more than others, just like the War Bond shop. There are rarities to the vehicles, which is why they don't all have the same price on the market, because if they all had equal, distribution, then they would probably have equal prices. So if that H75, which is the only one out of all of these I don't have, if that drops, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to be happy because I didn't get the other ones? Should I be elated? But what happens if the 3 out of 4 scenario happens, where I get a vehicle I already have, but it's a coupon, so I can sell it? Oh, great, wonderful. I can skim people's money. Think about it this way, right? The benefit of coupons is that you can sell stuff on the market, right? And this, at least for the PC player base, is a very positive thing. The downside of coupons is that it means that they can give you multiples of the same vehicle over and over again. In old systems, even in systems we have recently, such as the Victory Day stuff and also the Halloween stuff, the way it works is they add a decal every year to the pot. And if you play every year, you are guaranteed that decal, because technically you can't unlock all the other ones which have already been unlocked for you, because it's not a coupon. If they made all of those things coupons, it's a free-for-all. You can get the same coupons over and over and over again. And this is something that we saw in the festive event. This is something that we're probably going to see in the future, and it's becoming more and more prevalent because they are pushing people towards using the market. Is it so much to ask for 2 things? The first thing, if you have a couponed vehicle, if I already have in my garage an I-29, an M8, and a Grant 1, I am guaranteed to get the H75, right? Is that too much to ask? And on top of that, you can keep, number 2, you can keep its coupon status. So you can, if people want to put it on the market, they can put it on the market anyway. Why not just set it up like that? I understand that that system could be abused, because what you could do is you could find the 3 cheapest things on the marketplace, buy them, and then you could farm, technically, the most expensive one, right? But that only works so far, because supply and demand will change over time. Same with the decorations. The other thing that this does not outline is, first of all, how you get points towards being, the best person in your squad. And also, it doesn't tell you what happens with commanders. Do commanders get points? Do commanders just have a much better chance of becoming top of their squadron? How is that going to work? Or are these only in battle, in battle stuff that you get? So what is the point in commanding? Do you get anything on top of that? Do you get anything at all? Which means that, you get, do you get prizes if you're a commander? Or is this just for the foot soldiers? And on top of this, what if I would like to win 2 things at once? Think about a scenario like this. So you want your squad to come in the top 25, but you don't want the AMX-50. You want the Spitfire F. Or maybe you don't want the Spitfire F. Maybe you want the World War Trophy. You would have to intentionally sandbag yourself. If you don't know what the term sandbagging means, sandbagging is where you put either extra outside forces on yourself to make you weaker, or you don't play as well as you might do in a match to make either an opponent believe that you are one way, or just for your own personal benefit. So let's put it like this. Let's say you have a boxer and it's a 12-round match. For the first 4 rounds, you might sandbag, you may play very defensive, you may not throw many punches to try and tire the enemy boxer out. Then in the 5th round, because you have conserved your energy, because you've sandbagged a little bit, you go all guns blazing, and while he is tired, you absolutely batter him, right? Now in this scenario here, let's say I'm a top 20 player, but I don't want the AMX-50, I want a World War Trophy. I'm literally going to have to play worse. Or just not play at all, and let all of my other squad mates take the heat. This system, first of all, promotes infighting between squadron members, and it also can promote squadron members not playing at their best because of the fact that they want different awards. There are so many problems with this. So many issues. And I hope that... I don't think this will get changed for the first season. I think obviously being told this news a day before doesn't give a lot of time to be able to change things. But I hope these critiques are heard. Because to me, this really is insanity. This already is putting a ton of people off the event. And, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe these same old squadrons, which, do all the squadron battles, will also dominate this event. And maybe, people will enjoy it. And maybe people won't care about the prizes. Maybe, there'll be RP and SL for rank 3 vehicles, which is going to be useless for a lot of veterans because they're at rank 5 and 6. Maybe, it's all a success and people are okay with the exclusive stuff. But as always, I will not. I will stand behind what I believe. If the majority is okay with this, I will stand and say I am not. This, to me, this whole situation, when it comes to these awards, is completely ridiculous. You are favoring the few over the many. And you can't do that and expect to be successful. Instead, what you do is you paint a target on the few's head for the many to batter. It is not pretty, and it just means that you have an exclusive club which people will detest. It is much more honest and much more fair to give opportunities to earn these vehicles in much more open ways, instead of through tournaments and instead of through leaderboards. We haven't even talked about the issues such as people sharing accounts, people using alt accounts, people also having to work. Remember, on top of this YouTube stuff, I have a full-time job. A lot of the people I play with, they're over the age of 18. They're past university, they're past college, they're past school. A lot of them are mid-20s, early 30s, even 40s. They have families. They have jobs. And all you're doing here is saying to them, well, you've got an option. You can buy it on the marketplace. That's not good enough. Not good enough for an exclusive event which is designed for people who don't have jobs, who don't have a life, and can just play continuously. And at the same time, setting up a system which is designed to self-sabotage squadrons in the form of this specific line right here. I think you understand my opinions on the subject. It would be nice to hear yours. Please put your thoughts in the comments section. I'm very much interested to see what the community opinion is. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank B. Young, Blackie, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, Matity, Moxie, Nito, Nick Graham, Super Cacti, Elove Goat, Juan Frivolero, and Seductive Trash Can for supporting the channel.